Interesting. Is it ever worth applying to a college just to see what happens? If my GPA and scores are lower than they expect, is it still worth it? I touched on this earlier, but just to reiterate, no, not really. The only exception to this rule is if you have something that I like to call a red carpet voucher. And that's basically something unbelievably spectacular about your application that might transcend certain boundaries. And apologize if you hear the sirens in the background, by the way. That's the virtue of living in New York City. Anyhow, so let's say that you've published a novel, for instance, through a major publishing house. If you're a professional athlete, if you've won some international philanthropy award, and it's really kind of, just you have something that's really, really, really setting you apart, then you might be able to transcend things. And the other thing is, do you have a liaison? Is another question. And the main thing to ask yourself is, or the main thing way to figure this out is, if you know that you have one, you have one. And if you're not sure if you have one, you don't. It's kind of like that, if you have to ask, you can't afford it thing. So basically, if you're a recruited athlete, you have a liaison, the coach. He's going to go and he's going to go to the admissions committee and say, hey, John kicks a soccer ball like a Greek god. I need him on the team. They won't really care what your GPA is, right? He's pulling you in. If you don't have someone like that, or if you don't have some guy saying, oh my gosh, Jenny published a poem in the New Yorker, what a feat. If you don't have something like that, there's no point. Because again, this is how the application process goes. They look at your folder, they say, student 13,447, GPA below what we expect, SAT score below what we expect. Whop, that's it, right? And the thing here is that it's just a way for them to save time, right? They have thousands of kids applying, and they don't want to look at your DVD and look at your essays and look at your recommendations and then find out that you have a 1.1 GPA. It's inefficient. So to look at that stuff first. So again, I know it's bad news, but just remember that you're going to spend 4 years of your life at college. And while the name brand seems very important, it's way more important that it's just somewhere you want to attend. So do your research and find a place that's going to cherish you and that you're going to cherish. You really don't have to, go to Harvard or Princeton or Yale or Columbia to, enjoy the college experience and get a ton out of it. But again, you're just going to waste admissions officers' time. You're going to waste your time and you're going to waste your money, right? If you have a 2.1 GPA and you have 20th percentile SAT scores, don't apply to Yale. And I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm just saying it because it's not going to happen. And that's basically the full answer to that one.